Yo, Bonkar, bro. Why are you going to
Yo,
be a better coach than Chet?
I think the fact that I'm an ex-player and an ex-IGL and I actually understand the game is gonna make me a better coach.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Damn!
shit.
Really?
Yo.
We're doing
Sorry,
that.
sorry.
Damn!
We're
Yo!
doing that.
Welcome back to another episode of Offscript, the NRG Podcast presented by Rockstar Energy Drink. Today, we're going to talk about what's been happening during the Valorant offseason, VCT Ascension, and more. Shout out to JMVE030 for the comment on our last podcast episode. Congratulations, brother. You've won a signed NRG jersey. Make sure to DM us at NRGGG on X to claim your prize. If you're in the US and want to win a jersey too, make sure to leave a question in the comments. Now, before we kick things off, you know the fans have been hungry for some roster news, so please give us a warm welcome to the newest NRG head coach, Bonkar. What up, man?
Yo, how you doing?
How you doing, bro? Happy to have you. I mean, we already talked about you in the last podcast, but
Did you?
sheesh.
What did you say?
Oh, a lot of good things. I mean, the same question that we asked you before the podcast started, I had to ask everybody else. I think NRG has it out for Chet, bro. I don't know, but
At this point, yeah.
I see.
yeah, you're right. I guess it is what it is. But I kind of want to just ask you some questions here about what it's gonna be like for the future of this NRG team, and obviously what you
Yep.
plan on bringing to the table for the lads.
I think the future's looking bright. I'm really looking forward to get to work with Ethan, s0m, and FNS, and especially FNS to understand how he wants to play the game and how he wants IGL and how he view the field, so to say. And we're gonna have some young guns coming in with some good firepower as well. So I think the constellation looks solid for us.
Nice. And we already asked you what separates you from Chet, but for the players here, again, we're just gonna ask, why did you guys choose Bonkar out of all the coaches that you could have done with? And yeah, go ahead, guys.
I think a lot of it had to do with the experience that he brought, along with not just as a coach, but as a player. I think he alluded to that a little bit. But yeah, the fact that I think it's a big deal when a coach has played before. I think it's pretty underrated. If he's played at a professional level and played at a high level before, which Bonkar has. So I think that adds to his knowledge in terms of what to do in and out of game, understanding timings, etc., and kind of being critical to players in a way where you're enabling them.
Yeah, that's something that I talked about with Frost quite a bit, is that he's never been a pro player, and he would always bring up these these analogies of him and Nitro, where Nitro would be in game and he would be like, you just don't get it. I'm really good at this one angle, but you're not a player, so he never understood it. So Frost, from a coaching perspective, since he wasn't a player, just could never understand those
Yeah.
weird intricacies of the actual game being played.
Speaking of that honestly, it happened with Chet last year for me. It was literally the same exact example as you gave. There
Yeah.
are certain angles where you just know 99% of the time you'll just win that fight. At least you'll at least get your one during that
Mhm.
angle. Even though outside perspective, if you never really played the game, it's it's just wrong. It looks
Like
wrong.
a risk or
yeah,
something.
It's a risk, and the reward isn't that rewarding. But as a player, it's kind of there are certain angles that you're just so comfortable with that you just know you're gonna get that one.
Yeah, Bonker, how do you exactly balance that as a coach? That not exactly overheat, but also trying to teach your team to play fundamentally correct. What would you say is
Yeah.
the secret sauce to that, or is it just because of what we just talked about? How you were a player before, so you get it.
No, I think it's a lot about respect and discipline. If everyone in the team commits together to playing disciplined, means that you're going to be respectful, in game while you're practicing towards your teammates. You're not overpeaking, not doing these things because it's annoying, but it's also about allowing people to limit test and testing angles and actually fighting and exploring the actual PvP in Valorant.
Now, what do you guys think you need to work on the most going into this season? What's the main focus besides getting a roster? Which I think you guys are probably wrapping up on anyway. But obviously,
That's
not
easy.
gonna leave.
Defense side, bro.
Defense side.
That's an easy one.
I want to get it from everybody though. What everybody thinks it'll be. So FNS, you got the defense side. That's what you're going to be
Yeah.
focused on. But Bonkar, what do you think you want to be focused on? Majority of like the beginning of the team.
I mean, in the beginning of the team, just getting to know each other in and outside of the server. But I think something that we're gonna have to push together as a team is our aggressiveness. To be honest, I think we're gonna have to push each other to be like aggro.
That's
Fair.
some fire right there. What do you think, Ethan?
Just like adding on to what Bonkar said, just I think like chemistry or just like teamwork in general is really important, especially these like long ass off seasons. And it also doesn't help that you make 2 changes also. So
Mhm.
even if let's say we had like the same 5 and it's been for like 4 months already since we played last, like you still need to work on that. It's like you gotta shake the rust off a little bit.
That's actually like a great lead question into what I want to ask next, which is basically how do you plan on expediting the process of like incorporating the new players to like get acquainted to the team? Like, are there things that you guys are going to be doing like outside of the game? Are you guys constantly playing ranked with the new players, etc.? Like, what's the process behind that exactly? And Bonker, feel free to chip in as well because you are the coach and you probably be like the mastermind of how you're going to incorporate these new kids onto the team.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think it's gonna be quite easy because of John, Ethan, and Sam. They seem like really easy people to be around and very welcoming and these things. So I think in the beginning, just playing together, both in prac and also in rank, like you touched on, Babybay, it's gonna help a lot. And I think, I mean, I know you're already playing rank with them, so yeah.
For me, to incorporate the players, it's as simple as kind of making them understand how me personally as a caller, I like to call and play, and my philosophies on the game in general on all the maps. And I think that kind of gives them a little bit of an extra understanding on what it is that I like, what the goals are on the map. And then for me, when it comes to them, understanding how they like to play and their strengths and weaknesses, so I can use them to their best, and not really get to a point where I'm like holding them back. That's like the biggest
Mhm.
thing, as not just as a caller, but I think for all of us, like me, Sam, Ethan included, it's like making sure those players aren't held back by any means or don't feel like they're held back, whether it's because of their agent picks, their play style, certain positional things, etc. So all of that, you gotta play together in order to get a gauge of that.
Yeah, I think playing, because I assume NRG is gonna make us play in a couple off-season events, and even if they didn't, we would, as a team, probably decide to. And I think that'll help a lot, just in terms of just in game. I think Sen paved like a good way last year of them playing off-season events and then just going into like the season already having that chem. So I think we're gonna kind of do the same. So
Nice.
Yeah.
For these newer players, how have they exactly been for you guys? Like, is it like a breath of fresh air for you guys as players? Because I mean, Bonker already spoke about wanting to play more aggressively. Is that what you guys were looking for when you were looking for players? Is that the reason why you went the way you went?
I'll just add on to the aggressiveness thing. I think last year it's definitely something we lacked. I think there wasn't a lot of playmaking, and I think that's kind of like what teams that win have a lot of that, especially like to win the big tournaments. You need like a surprise element, and I think we kind of just got stale. We didn't really have much of that. So bringing in the people we're bringing into the team, I definitely think we'll fix that, or at least help it a lot. And we just have to kind of just adapt our playstyle to that too, because it's really important.
Yeah, another priority for us when picking these players up, a lot of it had to do with the hunger that they bring. For example, with Verno, he's not been on like a BCT stage before, so those kinds of players, for the ability to then confidence that they have in themselves, there's also that hunger factor, which plays a huge role, and it's like pretty underrated, because they want to prove themselves individually as well as on the team itself. So that just gives them a lot of confidence to make certain plays that maybe more experienced players wouldn't make because they know better. But sometimes knowing better can be to a detriment in certain situations in Valorant. So
Yeah, it just makes it like too readable sometimes.
right, exactly. You
Yeah,
want to be a little unpredictable, and I think picking up younger players adds to that unpredictability when it comes to like very situational plays. That when you have such confident young players, it helps. Like sometimes I don't even know what they're gonna do, and they do it right. So it just kind of helps change the identity of the team a little bit, which I know for a fact we needed that.
I have a quick follow-up question for anybody here, and it's just there's going to be a lot of pressure for these new players coming in, especially to an organization like NRG. Is there anything you guys plan on doing to like kind of deal with that and make sure they don't lose their confidence? Like if things just don't go right in the beginning, let's say, because like it's like a double-edged sword with young players, right? Like sometimes they come in and they're just stone cold killers. Other times it might take a little bit to ramp up. I mean, look at Icy, right? Like Icy, his first couple matches were really rough. But then, like,
Yeah.
he started getting more confident as he had more time playing with G2. So what do
I
you
think you
guys
just
plan on
send the
doing to deal with
message.
that?
I think you just send the message like vote like make sure you say consistently that at the end of the day, like you have patience and you have that time to get better. The reason we picked him up isn't because we're expecting superstar performances off the bat. It's to grow and improve as a team as the year progresses. And I think if you set those goals and make sure that that's clear, a lot of the times that alleviates the pressure, hopefully. But I mean, every player is going to put pressure on themselves regardless because there are so few events that you get to play. So no matter what, whether you are an experienced player or a younger player who's never played on stage before, everyone's kind of going through the same expectation of we have to win, right? So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it kind of evens out no matter what. Like everyone has that pressure. It's just who ends up crumbling under it and who doesn't. And it's my job, along with Sam, Bonkar, and Ethan, to make sure the other two aren't put in a position where they feel that way.
Yeah. I was gonna say like me, John, Ethan, and Bonkar. Hopefully, like that's honestly enough confidence for them to just kind of like even if the season starts bad or the off season starts bad, they know that we're here to like kind of give them reassurance. It's a
Yeah.
long year, especially next year. It's longer than it was last year. So you definitely have more time, even though the events are the same. But I also think the off seasons are gonna help a lot. Kind of ease them into the actual season.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really important for these guys too.
Yeah.
Because seeing what NRG had to go through last year, Ethan, that was tough having 1 week of practice going into the actual
Yeah.
in the actual year. Not at this level anymore. Everyone's getting so good.
Yeah, we're lucky to have we'll have a good amount of time of prep.
Yeah,
Bonkar.
we'll be fine.
Yeah, I wanted to get your opinion on that too, and like, because you've been a player, so you know what it's like to feel like the pressure of playing in like tier 1 and on being in the spotlight and whatnot. So is there any like thing you plan on doing like from the coaching side that's more than what these guys were just saying, or is it pretty much just all lined up?
I think it's just getting everyone into a good system that we all trust on each map and each side, so we have the comfortability to fall back on in official games. And also, like Sam said, playing some off-season events, getting that rust off, getting to know each other when it actually matters is a big thing. And then I also think that they're both coming from tier 2 NA, so they're gonna have a lot of confidence coming in because it's really high level in tier 2 NA compared to the rest of the world. You could argue that the top teams are like franchise level, so I don't think they might be a little bit nervous in the beginning, but I think it's gonna, if that happens, it's gonna get let loose real quick.
Nice. And what was it like, coaching Verno specifically? What's he like as a player?
I mean, absolutely fantastic as a player. Yeah, like I think he is. I've had played with Safe, I played with Leo, I played with some great players. He's definitely up there. He has the potential to be one of the best, if not the best, to be honest. I think his mechanical skill is what is like the most impressive on him. Like his movement and the way that the decisions he does based on his mechanical skill is crazy. Also, it's nice to have a guy like him in a team because he will always be 100% honest with you. Doesn't matter if like 5 people disagree with him. He'll say like, yeah, we can do what you guys say, but this is the reason why this is better, for example, and he'll give a good explanation, and that is always very appreciated, in my opinion.
All right. Well, speaking of players that are insanely good, and probably we would all want them on our team, Aspas is LFT. Is that your new-do list or not?
Yep,
So, yep.
yep, that's him.
Yeah,
That's the new
just
guy,
waiting
bro.
on the
tier two?
contract to
Hey,
be signed. That's
we're
it.
waiting on the pen on the paper.
I thought it was already signed.
What do you guys think about that, though? Actually, like, what do you think of this whole situation with the Aspas? And then also there was news of less, quote unquote, joining Vitality too.
I've been hearing
Yeah.
crazy stuff about the Loud roster.
Really?
Really?
Anything you want to share?
Off the podcast, I'll hit you up, Ethan.
Offscript? I mean, yeah, I mean that team ain't gonna be Loud anymore. That's for sure.
Oh my gosh, bro. That's just
Mm.
rumors, though.
Yeah,
right?
that's just rumors. That's like I don't actually know. That's just rumors.
Yeah.
I mean, with Sadak not there, it's basically like,
Well, that's just a
You
rumor.
know.
too.
is that
I
just
mean,
a
do you
rumor
mean the
still?
org
That's
or?
still just a rumor.
Everything's a rumor.
All right, I guess it's
Everything's
just
a
a
rumor.
rumor. But like, let's be real, Sadak's gone, right? Like, are we just lying?
Yeah, I mean, Sadak is going to Carmine, yeah, and then less
Yeah.
Vitality.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think
from
those are
good
the
sources, I
craziest
think.
moves I've seen because I never expected like an America's player to go to
Yeah, that's true.
Europe because there's so much talent here as is. But I mean, I'm sure he got a great offer, and that team's probably going to be really good. So it's kind of cool that he's like willing to go all the way there to make a team, and the fact that they
Yeah.
trust him enough to actually get him all the way from Americas. I don't know how much. I assume there's a decent amount of talent in Europe as well. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
surprised they dipped into Americas
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Specifically, that kayak kid is out of this world, dude. That guy is gonna be insane in the league. I believe he got rumored to be joining Fnatic.
Yeah, damn.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense for the European orgs also, like Vitality and Carmine Corp. They're both French orgs, and Champs is in Paris next year, so
Mm-hmm.
they're investing, I guess, and it makes sense to import players. I mean, why not?
As far as
Yeah.
Aspas goes, I genuinely don't know where he's going. Last I heard, he's going to Apeks. So, I mean,
Yeah, I heard about that too. It's
if that's the
where?
case, I mean, shit.
Good
Good luck. I mean, and hopefully, I mean, I don't think it'll turn into like a Yay type situation. I assume that they'll build a really, really good team around him as well. And yeah, I'm sure he got the fat bag as well. So I gotta respect the decision, I guess.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird though, right? Because I feel like Lev performed pretty well at this event, like at Champs and everything, like in their whole year for being like their first year as a team.
I think a lot of people don't know what's happening behind the scenes when it comes to teams, which is why
Mhm.
like certain teams might have like problems that no one else knows about. They just look at the results and go, "Wait, this team did really well. Like, why aren't they staying together?" But some players have other goals, man. They want to play with other people. Some players don't get along with each other. There's all kinds of different reasons for why people end up, leaving their teams, even when those teams are mildly successful, or even like in Lev's case, pretty successful last year, or this year. So,
Mhm.
I think that's just Valorant for you. Like, no team stays together. It's like realistically, everyone's gonna make changes.
Even if you're Aspas,
Yeah, actually.
anybody can get
I mean,
it.
especially if you're Aspas, because you just have 59 offers every single day.
And that's why you guys are getting him.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
exactly.
Precisely.
From APAC.
47th offer, I think, that he got.
From APAC. He's gonna go to APAC, then he's gonna come back.
Yeah.
And then then
Yep.
maybe Loud will reform. So I mean we already talked a little bit about the off season with you guys. But what's like a training regimen look like for you guys individually or even as a team? Like how are you guys prepping on an individual level for these off season events? Is there anything like special that you do?
Besides ranked, just specific routines, ranked, and VODs for me personally, because when you for me personally, like when I don't play for like 2 weeks, I need to come back and watch VODs because I need to understand the meta still. Like I could literally just forget how a specific match went, or if I'm like creating comps or something, I want to like look back at what other teams did that was successful and what failed. and then kind of go from there. So it helps me to watch VODs over again. Because a lot of the times the first time I watch a VOD, especially if I'm doing it on stream and watch partying or something, then it's usually for entertainment. So I don't remember a lot of it. So I have to like rewatch it and kind of analyze.
Yeah, for me, I don't know. I like to
Like to gilly
decompress for
up.
like a while in the off season. I don't really play any Val in the off season. Up until maybe like a week or two before we start prac up. Definitely like refreshes the motivation especially after a long season. When you're kind of like playing the whole time. But this is different. I mean every off season is different. Every off season you either join a new team or you got new players. It's like extremely rare you go into the next season with the same people. So it's always pretty exciting, I'd say.
Yeah, it's good to take a break for sure.
Yeah, agreed. I think it's super healthy to take a break so you like get outside of your own. I call it the bubble, yeah. Like when you're in a season or when you're grinding all the time, you enter your own bubble, and then it's really hard to like see things outside of the box. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's good to take a step back and like view it, come in with a fresh view of everything.
I agree with that. I would have to take vacations, and then when I would get back, I would feel so refreshed, and I would honestly feel like I was better or something.
Yeah.
Like,
You just miss
I
the
was
game,
more
right? You
focused,
allow
right?
yourself to
Yeah.
miss the game.
Yeah.
Like at first you gotta get sick of it because like towards the end of the season you've just been playing for so long, you're tired of like playing all the time. And
Yeah.
then you eventually, once you don't play for like 2 weeks to a month, you miss it again. So I think that's that remotivation that you need. And then for us, when we're picking up new players, adding a new coach, those kinds of things, you also get to know these players and the coach and like kind of talk to them, and it remotivates you to like think differently a little bit and look into the next year like, oh, how certain things are going to go, and you kind of plan for it.
That's exciting. It's like, okay, like how are we gonna perform? Is this the
Right.
one? Are we gonna take it all the way this year?
Yeah, exactly. And especially when like other teams are also making really good roster changes as well. It's honestly like fun to see because it just like excites you to have like want to play them on stage.
Dude, I actually hard agree, and I don't know if you guys agree with this as well, but I think this might be like one of the most competitive seasons of VCT. And of course, Bonker, it's gonna be your first year into the league. How do you think you're gonna stack up against like the competition with all these cool roster moves that are happening as well?
I mean, I think we're gonna be fine. I think it's gonna be about matchups also. I think there are some rosters that I'm hearing out in NA that they're building that's gonna be interesting. I mean, the obvious fucking good team I can think of is G2. Yeah, like that's gonna be
yeah, dude.
that's gonna be a monster. But we're gonna be good. We're gonna be good. We just we need to move forward one step at a time. Like again, I think it was John who touched on it earlier in the podcast that we're not expecting to be a super team immediately, but we're moving forward every single day, and we're gonna grow with the season, and that's the goal. Yeah.
Who do you guys think? Just go down the line of who the best or who the strongest team is going to be. And I know Bonker, you already said it's going to be G2. I think I'm going to agree with you with that. So do you all agree with that, or who do you guys think is the strongest?
It's hard to say strongest team because you hope that it's your team. It just kind of depends on how you start, and again, matchup based. Also, the matchups you get early on as well. Sometimes you'll end up playing like, say, the weaker-ish teams in the region and gain confidence through beating them, and then maybe your team looks a lot different than they did before those matches. So it depends on that, but I would say the teams that are expected to probably be insane, like have a really really good year no matter what, are G2, Sen, in Americas, right? You're talking.
It could be anywhere. Whoever you think is just like a really
Well,
strong
I'll
team,
just
where
pick
like
Americas probably
wow.
because that's probably the most knowledge I have. So
Yeah.
probably G2 and Sen are probably considered to be the two teams that will have the highest expectations going into next year, just based off the changes they're making. And from what I hear, they're really, really good changes. So if that happens, like if it happens the way I have heard it will, then I would say those two are the highest expectations for sure. And then maybe
You might
100.
be-
Actually, wait, 100 Thieves as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say to throw a curveball. I think 100 Thieves. I think they're making like a 1-for-1 change. Based off the rumors, but yeah, I mean them sticking together as a 4 definitely will help them. And that 1-for-1 change, honestly, like, isn't like a drop off in skill, based off the rumor. I think it'll be a good replacement.
also based off of rumors, I'm curious. We already talked about like aspas trying to, he's LFT, whatever. Ethan, do you think that aspas will be? I mean, aspas. Do you think that Demon One will be a good fit, especially reuniting with Calm on Leviathan?
Yeah, I think so. I think their playstyle is like pretty 1-to-1. Both of them are kind of like safe playing duelists. They're not just like dive duelists.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's just the playstyle. So yeah, I mean, just for like an IGL for King, I think it'll be easy to work around if that happens. I think obviously, yeah, going back to Com, previous history is always nice. So yeah, so I don't think it'll be a huge change up in the team.
Are you kind of happy that he'll be able to be able to play and stuff like that? Because like obviously, he got put on the bench last year and etc. And we all
Yeah.
know that he's very, very talented, at least mechanically.
Yeah, I definitely think he deserves another chance if he wants to keep playing. And yeah, I think he's really good. Obviously, I mean, shit, like a MVP at champs doesn't really lie. So I think he's very good.
He's kind of good at
and
the
I think
game.
he deserves a chance. Yeah,
Maybe.
I think he deserves a team if he wants one.
Word. I'm excited to see if he actually cooks and if he actually does join. Speaking of off-season events, we're gonna wrap up this segment with s0m and FNS. You have your Clout Clash coming up. How are you guys feeling about that? You guys excited? You happy?
Yeah, very excited.
I think it's not, or at least this event, it's not like an actual like off-season event. I think it's like more of kind of like just for fun event. I know like the actual like players that will be playing in this isn't like professional players. I think it'll mainly just be like content creators and just kind of like a for fun event. Kind of for the casuals. If you're not like really watching like actual competitive Valorant and you just want like your favorite content creators playing in it, things like that. But yeah, it's not, in my head, it's not really an off-season event. It's kind of just like a for fun event.
Yeah, and for me, I've never like done anything like this before in terms of content creation. I've never had the opportunity to do anything like this before, so it'll be fun to do it, especially with Sam, especially with the content creators we do have coming. And then on top of that, I've never done anything with Intel specifically, like myself. So that'll be awesome as well to kind of see what they have cooking over there. But yeah, either way, it's an exciting opportunity. I'm happy to be a part of it.
That's gonna be so cool. We're definitely gonna be looking forward to watching that. I might even be there. Who knows?
Yeah,
figure it
Yeah,
out.
maybe.
Bro.
You already live there, so stop by.
But yeah, I think we could move on to segment 2, and we're gonna be playing a game now called Guess the Rank. We're gonna be shown a Valorant clip, and we're gonna have to guess the rank of the person in the clip. The first person to get to 3 points will win.
Spike down.
Ooh, it's old.
Yeah, right.
Old Sky, bro. This guy shot the bird.
I don't know. This guy's kind of hesitant, but like his crosshair placement's like decent. Maybe that's the.
From what I've seen, I think Diamond.
Yeah,
Well,
I
like,
think I'm gonna.
I'm gonna say Plat.
all right, well, I'll go.
Ascendant.
All right, well, fuck. All right, I'll go.
I'm gonna go Diamond.
I'll just click 10.
No way.
My God. I was gonna say I think it's lower than everything.
What?
Not even.
Wait, who said
Plat.
Plat though? Who said Plat though?
Me.
You know what we should do? We should do whoever guesses closest gets.
All right, I win.
Yeah.
Done.
Okay, we got the less crosshair.
Oh.
You think this is like a true gold? Like this isn't like
Yeah,
a.
yeah, it's like a true goal.
This is a true Plat for sure. it is.
What's under gold?
You don't think so?
Nah, this guy's not good enough to be flat.
No, I just don't know. Oh god, oh god.
Oh man, can't go back what you said.
Oh, 1v4.
Oh, wait.
Here we go.
Jesus Christ, his teammate.
What accent is that?
120 FPS.
Indian?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's fighting, bro.
I'm gonna go Plat. I don't care.
Plat.
What's
Top it
below?
off.
I'm just gonna keep going flat.
What's below gold?
Over.
Silver? Oh no, I'll stick to gold. Silver's too low. If you're
Gold is
silver,
the
you're
same
not
choice.
putting.
Gold is the same choice. But I want to say plat.
I'm hitting. Oh man, I'm hitting the
Oh my,
silver.
you want diamond? Oh, I thought you were gonna say diamond.
I'm hitting the silver.
Like I
No, there's
think
no
silver
way.
too, bro. But I say
I'm
gold. I say
gonna
gold.
say
I'm sure he's
diamond.
gonna end up ascended one.
Diamond Bonkar?
Okay, diamond
Yeah, well,
Bonkar.
it's a different region. So I think.
Oh, that's
Oh,
true, that's true.
I'm going plat. I'm going plat. He's cooking.
I said plat too.
I'm sticking
Let's go,
to.
let's go.
I'm
Wait,
sticking to gold.
wait.
I'm
Are we
telling
allowed
you.
to? No, we're not allowed to switch. I messed up. We're not allowed to switch.
can-
I'm
you
silver.
I mean, we can make it happen.
I mean, you
Can
can
we?
Switch. Just
we can
switch.
bend the rules a
I'm
little
going
bit.
plat.
Come on
I'm
over
going
to plat.
plat.
This is our
Coming
podcast,
over
bro. We
to
can do
plat,
whatever.
brother.
Silver.
Oh my god.
Wow, I was right. Fuck up. Shut the fuck up. No way, bro.
Jesus.
All right, so
Yeah,
you get a point, bro. There's no
Yes.
way. I've trolled myself.
Yeah, fuck you, Sam.
Thank you. No problem.
I mean, this has to be mobile then, yeah.
Okay,
Is it
but
mobile?
here's the
Bronze,
thing,
bronze,
though.
I don't
bronze,
think it's
bronze,
mobile.
bronze, bronze,
No,
bronze.
I'm joking.
But here's the thing, though.
Nah, this
Nice.
is
There-
low as fuck rank. I don't think I
Say
say
bronze.
what's bronze as well. Yeah.
It might be. Unironically, it actually might.
They're only getting
Don't
worse.
know.
though.
Like, what if there's a duo involved? What if?
I just
No.
don't know. And I
Alright.
don't have.
Votes
I'm gonna
are
go
in.
with
What if
bronze.
For boosted radiant?
Yeah, what?
Well, it's
we have to take into account the other people too. The other people,
Yeah, you know
because
what I'm
they
saying?
can't hit anything either. The other two.
Oh, you're right.
I'm sticking to iron.
This has to be bronze. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm-
bronze.
Okay, everyone has their answers.
I'm gonna hit the
Yeah.
bronze. I'm gonna hit the bronze.
Let's see what the answer is.
Bronze, yeah.
Wow.
Bronze.
Me, John, and Andre?
Yeah.
I
All
suck
right.
at this.
But I feel like this guy's about to cook.
Low key. Nah.
Need e-girls in the server. Yeah. Yeah.
This crosshair.
Crosshair plays sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You see
Not
me?
bad at all.
Oh wait.
Oh, what do we see there?
Wait.
Why did he freak out?
Wait.
Killed the Cypher. Why is he freaking out looking at a trip?
Nah, bro.
Wait, they're moving.
Now the thing is, like this
His angle clears are good too. Like it's not
Yeah.
bad.
actually
What?
decent
I
range.
think he's like seeing ghosts. What just happened?
I think something's wrong for sure. I don't know what it is, but something's off.
This guy's definitely on Addy, bro. This guy's on Addy. He's Addied out. Nah, you're holding that tight.
All right, my final answer. He's gold.
He's gold.
Wow.
Wow.
You're gonna say the same
that
shit,
that
right?
actually was.
I know you, bro.
I'm gonna hit the diamond on this one. Yeah, I'll hit
go
the
one.
diamond on
We'll
this
go
I'm
one.
gonna say plat. I'm gonna say plat.
All right, if you
Ah,
think
that-
about it, this is old. People used to be higher ranks back then.
Oh, I like that.
I think
I
Ascendant.
like that.
Yeah,
Ascendant.
Ascendant also.
Ascendant.
Angle
Wow.
clears. Sky recharge bird info clear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ascendant.
Looking at the
Ascendant.
Cypher trip, gold.
Hey, could be radiant, John. Come on.
Radiant is
Radiant.
crazy. If this guy's radiant,
Thinking
I'm
about it.
leaving this game. I'm ending
Yo.
the game.
Homie went in the opened it like 2 different angles, heaven and water, and just looks to
We're
the
not going to
left.
talk about how he
Blows
killed the Cypher and then just stared at a trip for 3 seconds.
Nah, he's plat. He's plat.
Bro, what was that though for real? But like, what do you think he was thinking though? Like, for
I don't
real?
know. I don't think he was. That's gold.
He
for
wasn't.
Sure. Wait,
You
who
go
said
to both
Ascendant?
sides.
You guys think Ascendant? Ethan?
I
and-
said-
That Ascendant.
I'm keeping it. I'm keeping
Oh,
Ascendant.
I'm going diamond. I'm going
Yeah,
diamond.
Ethan's just not
He's
trying.
Ascendant. You guys are them for sure.
Come on, Ascendant.
Ethan's
This
just
would
Alright,
be
not
the
let's vote.
ultimate guess.
I have 0 points. I got a ball. That's how
Let's
it is.
see.
I
Let's see.
respect.
Let's see.
All
It.
right, everyone has their answers.
Yeah.
plat.
No way.
That's
It's
a wrap. That's a wrap.
Sam. I got
That's
Sam wins.
another wrap.
Sam wins, bro. It's too easy for you. What the
Damn,
hell?
I think I won the last
GG.
one too.
All right. Well, that was a fun game, but there's a little bit more that we want to talk about. So, this offseason has had a lot of crazy info being thrown around, but what we know right now is that VCT America Ascension has just ended. We had 2G who took down M80 in a BO5 to ascend. What did you guys think about that final? Specifically you, Bonkar, because you got the privilege of, playing against M80 these last 2 years, right? So
Yeah.
What
mean,
were you surprised that happened? I mean, like for me personally,
I mean, I'm sad for M80. I do think that they would have deserved like one of these 2 years that they were in the finals. But I'm not surprised that they lost because, like, looking at the Brazilian team coming in with momentum and confidence and just playing way more aggressive, I think it disrupts M80's playstyle, to be honest, and it doesn't allow them to set up properly. So I'd say they kind of counter M80, to be honest. They were a bit fortunate or unfortunate if you're M80 in that matchup, in my opinion.
Yeah, what did the rest of you guys think? Because obviously in the last podcast I think we talked about it, right, a little bit, but they were then in the upper bracket and they got brought down to the lowers. Did you guys watch the final? And if so, like, what did you think about the actual game as well?
I got to watch the final map of the grand final, and I mean, yeah, it seems like these teams that they played against, the ones that actually beat them, did a really good job of disrupting them. I mean, he's a very slow and methodical team. They also have players that kind of embody that play style a little bit. Besides maybe Noob is the only one that kind of gets out of that comfort zone a little bit. Maybe sometimes Net with his aggressive lurks, but outside of that, it seems like the rest of them are pretty passive and play very team oriented, which I think we talked about it earlier in the podcast. You don't want to be too predictable, right? I think at a certain point they did get a little predictable, and when they consistently were disrupted and lost numbers, it seemed like they were a little lost in a lot of rounds. So and weren't able to recover. And the team they were playing against, 2G, also did a really good job of like closing the rounds out as well. So, I mean, props to them for bringing that to map 5 and then winning it with like less experience on stage, technically.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. What do you think, Ethan?
Yeah, I watched like on and off. I think I saw them come back to a map 5 because they were down 0-2, right? Or was it the other way around?
I think
they were down 0-2.
They were down 0-2 and then they brought it back to map 5. Yeah, so
I
I watched
they were up 2-1 in the final. M80. They were up 2-1, and then Haven and Bind happened.
Oh yeah.
Damn, must have watched the wrong game.
He said, "Damn."
That
So
sucks.
surprised that M80 lost to Haven though. Like that the other team, they didn't play Haven before, I think, and the same with M80 and Bind. So M80 had to win the Haven game, but I don't know what happened there. They played like a double duelist, I believe, on the Haven.
They played the Fnatic comp, the ISO, Yoru, Sova, Omen, Cypher.
Yeah, again, just disruptive, I think, versus M80, and didn't allow them to do their thing. I also think there's something coming into like finals and like having nothing to lose, so to say. Yeah, just playing lights out. Yeah, fair play to them. I think they looked solid overall, especially their individualism in the team. They had really good players.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are gonna have to play against this team this year, so I'm sure you're gonna be hitting back in the VODs and try to see how they play and whatnot. And like that Spike and Silence guy are absolutely ridiculous. But I gotta point out one thing, which is something that I think not a lot of people talk about, like in terms of like the public, and that's like having a deep map pool. I feel like it's kind of troll that M80 is a team for 2 years and they still had a permaban. And I just want to get your guys' thoughts on like,
what was their permaban?
Their permaban was Bind, and then if you recall, the last 2 years in the grand final they had to play Bind, and map 5 in this series was Bind. Of course, they lost on it. But I feel
it's okay to have a permaban, even if you've been a team for a long
time. You think so?
I mean, it's fine. There's certain maps that like maybe just aren't good for them. Like for example, Bind there's certain maps that just aren't good for certain teams. They just like are very uncomfortable playing it. There are some teams that just permaban is set, for example, because it's such a like you know what I mean? It's such a map that everybody knows how to play that map, right? Yeah. It's very hard to outplay opponents necessarily unless you mid round really well. So some teams just choose to ban it because it's just been there for so long. Everyone has the same comp. No one really tries to innovate too much on it. So I think it's a similar case for them. So I don't think it's like the end of the world, but it is kind of fucked that they end up on Bind twice and 2 grand finals because of that. I would have some stuff on it, and I'm sure they did as well, but yeah, I don't mind them having a perma like that, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think it's the worst. I mean, maybe the same permaban for that long is kind of crazy.
Right? Yeah.
I
feel like it could change, you know?
Once
like,
the meta
depending
changes,
on the team you play against.
Yeah, meta changes, new maps coming into, like, It's a little, maybe it's a little much having a permaban for 2 years straight. The same one, but that's just my opinion.
Bonkar, what do you think as being a coach? I feel like Oxygen had a very deep map pool, but was there a permaban that you guys had the last 2 years, or were you guys just like pretty much flexible in that case?
This last year we didn't have a permaban. I actually don't remember the first year. I don't think we had a permaban. I'm very high on having all the maps somewhat ready and having the balls
Mhm.
to play them. I think also because I was watching the finals and when I saw it going to bind, I thought M80 was gonna have like a weird comp like they have on Lotus, for example, with the triple sentinel or something. But then they came in and they just played the default
Default.
comp cookie cutter and was like, yeah, probably not gonna work. So I think like if you have a permaban for that long, maybe you practice it like just every now and then, and you have like a weird comp that's gonna be like it's gonna either make or break, in like a finals in the last
Yeah.
map, just like it happened. I think something like that would be cool, but it's hard to know like within the team if it just didn't fit them or whatever happened because
Mhm.
they also swapped players and IGLs and everything, and they still had the same permaban. But again, it could be that they just didn't like the map at all. Like it's hard to say, and
Yeah.
hard to say if it's justified or not. Also.
Yeah, I feel like it's every like IGL and coach's dream to like have a team that's good at every map. That way you can like always be ahead in the veto and like things will always go your way because then you could like game plan actual maps against enemy teams that you want to play against, like ban their best map or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's a massive advantage, but then you also need to be able to back it up with actual good maps. Yeah, because I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
rather have a permaban and be incredible on like a set few maps of like, yeah, we'll know we're gonna win Haven every time we pick it, for example, because then you have a map and then you're like really solid on other maps than having all maps in the pool and then you just like average on like 4 of them. I don't think that's optimal either. Then I think it's fair to just permaban and be like incredible on some maps.
Yeah. So we spoke about Kayak earlier and we touched on it. Obviously, Apeks was the team that made it through EMEA. And I want to get your thoughts on a couple different things here. Bonkar, obviously you're really familiar with the EMEA talent. Has anybody else actually watched the matches in EMEA, or like you guys know like about these guys, right? Like Soulcast, Avova. You guys have played against them before, right?
Yeah,
Those
I haven't
players,
watched
yeah.
that many games though.
Yeah, I didn't really
It's
watch any
okay.
of EMEA.
So maybe I'll just lean on you then, Bonker. What
Yep.
do you think about this this Apex team now that they're going to be rumored to lose Kayak, who's insane? Like I feel like there's not a lot of duelist players that can play all four, which is like the
Mhm.
Neon, the Yoru, the Jet, the Rays. How like I don't know, like you think they're still
Yeah.
going to be a strong team even without a player like that on their team?
Yeah, I think they have a good foundation to build on their team. Maybe they remove another player and they keep like 3 people or something like that. But
Mhm.
because there's definitely duelists in EMEA that is up and coming. To be honest, obviously it would be nice to have a duelist that can play all 4 to a super high level. But I don't. It's like if you can play a race or a neon, like it's fine on some maps. Like
Mhm.
if you have a better neon, you play the neon. If you have a better race, you play the race. I think it's fine, and I don't think it's going to be a problem finding a duelist, to be honest. I think it's more important what they have with their fundamentals in the team, with
Mhm.
Soulcast, Avova, and who am I forgetting? Those 2. Molsey
Olsey
also.
and Hype.
Y-
Yeah.
Molsey and Hype. Yeah, Molsey is going to be interesting because he's IGLing now as well, and he has the experience and everything. So I think they have an interesting core, to be honest. I think maybe they should do another roster swap, honestly, and it could be good for them. But yeah, I don't know. I think they're good.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of talking to Soulcast, and he basically told me like his whole game plan of the like the roster that they made together was getting people that were just like homies, like brothers, like that they enjoyed each other's time, they had fun, but they were also like able to lock in. I think that's really important to have on the team. Um,
Yeah.
I wanted to get your thought on, first of all, the Turkish team that they played against. They're all young kids. They're all insane. The Turkish talent is absolutely crazy in this game.
Yeah.
But for you guys, you're probably not aware of this, but if that team had won, let's say that Pacific Esports had won, they're all underage. Uh, like who's gonna join the league? Like this is like the weird stuff when you think
Yeah.
about Ascension and et cetera. I feel like Riot really dodged a bullet here because I mean, if this team had won, it would have been a shit show. Like, does Apeks go up?
Yeah.
Is that even fair?
I
Like,
don't. Yeah, I mean, smartest thing they should have done is there should be the same age limit for Ascension that there is VCT.
Hmm.
Obviously, that sucks. Like in that
Yeah.
scenario, but I mean, that would be the thing that makes most sense, right? Because in this situation would just never happen, or it would never be possible for that to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
majority of players at least be 18.
yeah. Either, I mean, obviously there's like different ways to do it. You either raise the limit or you lower the limit.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, knowing Riot, bro, I think they would have let them in. I think they would have changed the rules.
Yeah.
Really?
Honestly, I think they would.
They are stubborn though.
So it could have
I don't
been a
know.
good thing.
I think they're very open to community feedback and criticism, and that would have sparked a lot.
it's true.
true.
So I
True.
think they would change it. What's the youngest one of their players are?
I think they're all like 16, dude. Like legit.
Damn, that is young. Jesus.
I, mean,
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
That's
Don't
cucked.
don't.
I low-key
Well,
wish they had just won the. It would have been funny.
Didn't they come from
It's-
Premier or whatever?
Yeah, exactly. Like they
Isn't
actually
that
played
crazy?
in. Yeah, it's insane. I mean, I don't. It's the fact that they come into that tournament and they haven't like they legit have nothing
Yeah.
to lose. Like they can just
That's-
do
yeah.
whatever they want and they know it's not gonna change anything for them. So I don't think it's fair. I think it's
That yeah.
messed up.
That's crazy for the teams they beat.
Yeah.
I can't imagine
Yeah.
playing a league and you're just playing a bunch of kids that came from like literally matchmaking.
Yeah.
you practice all day for this Ascension land. It's like,
Dude, isn't that
Oh,
crazy?
God.
Like that's how good like the Turkish like kids
Yeah.
are.
That
scene
dude,
is
like,
broken.
mechanically.
if any scene's gonna do it, it's that one with
It's-
that kind of team.
Yeah.
So insane. There's another team that ascended, and this is from China, Zhilai Gaming. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this is something that's very interesting as well because they had 2 Russian players on their team going into it. And obviously, like you guys know the import rule, you can only have 1 player. So I want to get your thoughts on, the fact that you can also basically play with, I mean, as many imports as you want, really, as long
I mean,
as you
is there
all
a
live there.
justified reason for why that rule exists in the first place?
I don't know. I think it has something to do with League. Like I think in
Yeah.
League at one point, like people were abusing, the import rules and just like
What does that
basically
even, what
just
does that
taking
even
over.
mean? Just let them fucking play with whoever they want to play with. What
I
difference
I
does it
think
make?
it's to keep the
Yeah.
regions separated, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Because I mean, that's literally
Yeah.
what happened to CS, right? There's no NA teams anymore
Uh,
because all the NA
And-
teams
True,
picked up the
true.
better European players.
Okay,
think in
realistically,
League of-
just for competitive integrity, I
Yeah.
think it's fine. I feel like switching it up and having certain players or just make a limit that's like not just a 1.
Right? I
made
feel like
2.
1 is too little.
Yeah, just
Two
make
would
it
be
make it 2,
balanced.
and then that's it. So that way you still have majority at the region you want it, I think
Yeah.
that's fair at that point. Just kind of compromise a little bit. But just 1 seems a little too. Yeah, it seems a little like it just doesn't make too much sense to me. It's fine to have 2 EU players in a NA team and then majority NA.
Yeah.
Right?
I
Like
agree.
it sucks knowing that like going into the season, like you're just not gonna be able to qualify. Like I'm pretty sure like with this team, it was like pre-chosen who would go through.
Yeah,
So like this Crystal guy literally qualifies, deserves to be in the league, and now like first of all drops bombs. By the way, in the grand final, he went 57 and 26. He went plus 31. They 3-0'd the enemy team, and he's not even going to be able to go in with the team that he won with. I mean that's
hey
just
man,
only
he
the
made a name
IGL
for
as well.
himself. He'll get a team anyway.
I hope so. Like that's what I'm saying. Though, but there's always a chance, like especially in this.
I mean, that part
You know?
sucks. I agree, but like the player stock just rises so like exponentially when
True.
a player plays it that well. So even if you're off the team, your stock's already really high. You're gonna get offers. You kind of set yourself up for the future anyway. So there's good things that come from it as well.
Word. And then the last team that qualified, you guys will probably maybe have to play against if they make it, because I know you guys are gonna make it to internationals. Is Sin Prissa Gaming, and it's an all Korean team. And I don't know. These
Okay,
guys are
that
pretty good.
I watched.
Yeah, you watched it.
I watched the very last map. That shit was insane. Like what was happening.
15.
Yeah. I was like, fuck, I don't even know who I want. I actually didn't care who won, but like I was genuinely just so interested in the match because they like one player would make a massive mistake like they almost lost a 1v5.
Welcome
And-
to APAC.
I couldn't believe my eyes. Like it was like a 5v1 post plant, and this one guy almost 1v4'd on a post plant. I couldn't believe my eyes. They were all just fighting him, and he just shit on them. And I'm like, wait, like, what the fuck am I watching right now? It seems like these other, like specifically the APAC region, is so loose. They play so loose. There was a Sky on their team just taking 1v1s, like in the open 1v1s in showers at Long B on bind, and I'm sitting there like, look, this isn't planned. I know this isn't planned. He's just doing shit. And so it seems very undisciplined, but at the same time, it's so entertaining to watch. This region is just so entertaining to watch.
It's a different game. Like Frost literally tells me, he's like, forget anything you know. When you go to APAC, it's just a completely different game. You have to learn like a whole new style.
Yeah,
And
I mean they just fight.
Dude, it's crazy. Like even when I was there for champs, like I'm just like playing ranked like just for fun on like one of the Riot accounts or whatever. They place like Ascendant. That's what they place at, for those that don't know. And even in Ascendant, bro, they got shooters. I'm like, bro, I'm impressed with my teammates. I'm like, damn, boy, like what?
I remember Sam. I'm sure you remember this when we were in Tokyo playing against EDG. Like what Kankang was doing to us on Gecko.
Yeah.
On his guys on Gecko bind, just running us down. Like defense side, attack side, doesn't matter, right? But yeah, like doesn't matter what gun he has. He's just fighting. He like peeks hookah at the start of the round and just fights people. And I'm like I don't know what the fuck's going on. These guys are 5 Kankangs doing the exact, like all of them are doing it. Like doesn't matter if they're Brimstone or if they're Neon. The Brimstone is playing exactly like the Neon would. And it's just extremely confident, individualistic playstyle that, in my opinion, is very hit or miss. And I think it's like also a big drawback with the region itself. Now, not all teams are like that. For example, like there's certain teams that can, like play not like that and like not play so individualistic and still like, and play normally. Like Gen G, for example, is like a huge example. DRX, these teams are still able to play very well and like play the percentages like much better. But the other teams, especially the Ascension ones that I watched, I could not believe my eyes.
It's a fiesta.
As a coach, like, what do you say?
I don't know, bro.
You know?
I don't know. Like,
I'm like,
Bonkar, what would you say, bro?
I mean, if
Press
the player
W
hits,
harder.
Yeah.
Press W harder.
Like if the
So you
player
would
is
embrace
hitting,
it.
Literally what Alex does on paper.
Damn, bro, I should have gotten you as my coach on FaZe, bro. I
You
needed
gotta embrace what they're good at.
you to tell my other teammates that, bro. Just keep going, bro.
Follow up.
These guys, we lose one match to Sentinels. They wanted to play Phoenix on Ascent. I'm like, all right. Yep. Good luck.
Good luck. Have fun.
Phoenix is
Good luck.
insane.
Yeah, it was when Sick was in the
Are they
game.
gonna change him as Sage?
Huh?
I think I
Phoenix?
saw that.
I feel like they should.
I saw
Like,
that too. Yeah, a couple
What
weeks
would you
ago.
change to make him viable, though? Or did they announce what they're gonna do? I don't even know.
Give him a third flash and only 4 ult orbs for ult.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, bro.
Any other suggestions?
All right, Sam, you're up.
No, I think they are gonna change Phoenix, but they didn't announce what they actually were. I think they just said that they planned on changing stuff with Sage and Phoenix. I don't know what else.
You think the
Think the
Sage
only
changes are
thing-
necessary? I feel like Sage is like not even like that bad.
Sage is pretty good right now. I think
I like her. Yeah.
viable.
Yeah,
I
I
think
feel like
Phoenix. Maybe they could like. The only thing is like that's bad in his kit. Maybe the wall.
yeah,
And I think the
right?
Molly doesn't do damage to Util, right? Or does it? Did they fix that?
It does.
If Molly could like break a KJ ult or some shit, a lot of people would
Oh.
play that shit.
Oh, make the Molly a little bit stronger.
Or the wall like longer or something. I don't know. But like we played against a Phoenix the other day, or I did, and I was surprised at how long the wall is.
Bro,
Like time
when you
wise.
said we played against a Phoenix, I was like, what the
Sorry, no.
what scrims have we what?
Nah.
You're an APAC. No,
Like how
actually-
OP the flash is.
long though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the flash is actually like if you play against a good Phoenix, like well actually yeah, obviously you guys know you played with Victor. I feel like Victor was pretty good at Phoenix, to be fair.
Yeah, but I played
Yeah.
with him on Optic. Like that was the last time he was Phoenix. He didn't play
Yeah.
any other time.
I know he hasn't played since, but like would you forget about how good that flash is, man?
I mean,
Like,
no. The Flash is very good.
It's crazy.
It's just I don't know. Like when you have the buffs that you have on Neon, and like Raze, and the way
Yeah.
Raze is, the way Jet is, just so hard to implement Phoenix as well.
There's just no gap closer on that character.
Yeah.
I think Yoru is like criminally underrated. I think teams are really scared to run Yoru, especially as
You
a
think so?
solo. I think
I-
so, man. I feel
Bro,
like
I
there's-
think it's the opposite. I feel like people abused the fuck out of it this year.
I mean, okay, a couple teams did, but like I
Yeah.
think it should be. I think people should do it more. That's what I mean by it being underrated. Like I
Yeah.
also feel like
Yeah.
ISO is pretty underrated too. But
Thanks was
like
most,
obviously,
yeah.
You need a
Most-
player that can make it look
Yeah, exactly.
really good like Alpha, right?
I was gonna say I think most duelists just can't even play the agent,
Mm-hmm.
so it's kind of hard to like. You have to like stick one of your other players on it.
Yeah.
Like most Jets, most Rays players can't also play Yor. It's a lot to ask. And Neon's also a thing this year too, or last year.
Mhm.
So like being very proficient at 4 agents or 4 duelists is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that was always my struggle. My Rays was just fucking tier 5, bro. Speaking of tier 5, obviously we saw M80 get smacked up, and then TSM got smacked up as well in this Ascension LAN. Do you guys think some of these players are going to be getting picked up? I mean, obviously we know, and we know that some of them from M80 will definitely be getting picked up. But do you see anybody from TSM getting picked up into the league?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think there's enough
What are you gonna
slots.
say? 7?
No, I was gonna say Sim. I feel
Nah.
like he's not that bad of a. I feel like he's up
You
there.
look good on LAN.
Yeah, I feel like he's
I'm
up
just
there
saying.
with, like,
The only reason I say no isn't because he's bad or anything. There's so many duelists, bro. There's so many duelists.
yeah,
that,
but
like,
Sim's
are
also
so
one of those
sought
guys
after.
that can play all 4 of those duelists, which is the only reason why I give him like the edge.
Does he play Yor?
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
pretty sure he does. I'm pretty sure he plays all
nah,
4.
He's tried. I know, because I know Faded, obviously.
Yeah.
He's put him on. He's put him on Yoru a bit, but like it's definitely not like one of his stronger characters.
Yeah, like
He's
I know his
definitely
Neon's
like
good.
Neon. His Neon,
Yeah.
his
Raze
Raze
is
is good.
decent.
His Jet is pretty good too.
That's possible.
I mean, but yeah, other than Sim, probably not. I don't see a world.
Really? So like okay, so like you're an org, right? And you
Right.
watch this LAN. Obviously, Koala Noob made it further, and he's also a duelist player. You still think he's Sim out of the two?
No, I'd probably take
Um,
Koala.
Like who
Well,
would you take?
The thing is, like, I'd say Sim is up for discussion. I think, like,
Okay.
at the end of it, they probably wouldn't go with Sim. But there's a world where, like, maybe someone on the team would rather play with Sim because they know Sim more than, maybe Koala Noob. But I just want to say I think Sim is up for discussion.
What do you
I
think?
mean, I don't
Bonkar?
even know if Koala will go on a team.
Right?
I mean, I think I would personally go for Koala, but it's just I think that Simga is good also, but it's just again like Sam said, there's so many other duelist players.
Yeah, there's
honestly,
a lot.
I think if any franchise team wants to, they could take like a semi gamble on 7. I think there could be something there with him, but I don't know. I haven't looked into him too much. I know that because we lost to TSM, yeah, that's how we got eliminated. I prepped, and I saw during the prep like before Ascension and during the Ascension, I was like, this sim guy is on steroids or something. Like it was actually scary when I was prepping. Like he looked like a completely different player, and he had a fantastic weekend during Ascension. But yeah, I mean, if you can unlock that in him, then you have a fantastic player. But I don't know if it's there or not.
Let's not forget the Brazilian duelists as well, the ones that didn't make it.
Oh,
Oh,
Sato.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Dude,
there's
that
that as
Sato
well.
guy looks so good, man.
Yeah.
He looks so
So
good.
I mean, it's just a too competitive a role for
Yeah.
I think some of the American ones to get a chance. If I'm being honest. Like
who
the
do
NA
you
ones.
guys who do you guys think deserves to be in? Like who is like, yeah, this guy like
Bro, it's
should
too hard
be in the league.
because I hate
If-
that word.
if there was
you just
more-
don't even know.
But like if there was more slots, let's say, like not for your team, but like let's say there was more slots, hypothetically.
I mean,
like,
of course you're gonna say M80, right? Because I mean, twice
like
two
the whole
grand
team.
finals lost.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
whole team, yeah.
Yeah.
2 grand finals lost.
Yeah.
They made it to the end and then just lost twice. It's like you have to say like, okay, because of that consistency of making it there twice, it's like you kind of just want those guys to finally get the franchise spot.
Yeah.
Like you kind of just like wish for it at that point. It's like, fuck, I'm not playing a third year if I lose twice.
I know,
That's for
bro.
sure.
Well, I mean, that's exactly what happened, right?
Yeah,
And maybe like
yeah.
literally announced after that, like, yo, we're done. We're out of the league now.
Right, exactly. So it's like, and then also, yeah, you have to look at it from the org's perspective. Like how that feels and how that hurts financially as well, and like
Tough,
not getting
man.
anything, not getting a franchise spot out of it. So I think it's like if I were to ask, like, say who deserves, but at the same time, like that word is like, it's like the team that wins deserves it. At the end of the day,
Of course,
It's like,
of course.
so it's like hard to say.
What do you guys
But
think
like if you're an
about,
M80 player, if you're like say you're Koala Noob, like
Uh-huh.
do you play a third year of Ascension?
and if you kind of have to, right?
You kind of have to, yeah.
Well, but now you don't have, M80 backing you. Obviously, we know that like there's a lot of cool things cooking up with Shopify. like Sean Garris taking over and kind of doing like the whole head of esports stuff. And I
Yeah.
talked to him a bit, and he's doing like a rigorous process trying to get a coach. Like he's done like, I think he told me he's done 100 interviews already.
Yeah.
Damn.
And like he's gonna take his time forming the roster. So if I'm the guys that haven't made it yet, I would really try to get there, because I mean we're seeing a lot of orgs drop out of tier 2 now, right? Like M80, like I just said, there's
Yeah.
that tweet from the Ascend CEO, and that one was like kind of like, wow, bro, like Ascend's gone. Like this team they did so much like in tier 1 before partnerships.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of crazy. What do you guys think about all that stuff with the tier 2 scene and like orgs not being in it?
I mean,
It sucks.
it's a matter of time, no? Like,
Yeah.
there's only so much time you can put in before the money runs out.
Yeah, I mean, it's an investment at the end of the day. It's a risk.
And it's only one
yeah.
slot too. I mean, you either get
Yeah.
it or you don't. And if you don't, you essentially, I hate to use this word, but it's essentially a waste of money to keep doing it. And like kind of, you are at the end of the day gambling on the players, the coaches, all this stuff. Like all the money that you're putting in is essentially a gamble. It's an investment that more often than not doesn't go your way.
I mean, I think now with the new system, it doesn't make sense. I mean, I understand orgs dropping out, because imagine
Yeah.
if you go to America tier 2, you win Ascension, and then it's like, yeah, you're gonna have to play G2 for the spot. You know,
Exactly.
It's like, okay, good
Yeah.
luck, have fun, guys. Like that's not this.
That's the
That's-
weird thing now, right? It's like, yeah, you have. It's very odd. It's very
Yeah,
odd.
like now you have to win Ascension, and then
You're only
need
in for a
to beat
year.
the franchise team as well.
All the teams that make it in are at such a like crazy disadvantage in terms of like the amount of pressure that's put on them. Because like
Yeah.
even for like G2, like they have to, like they have to do good. Like you have no choice now. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
it's something like if you make champs, like then you're secured.
Yeah.
Unless another team makes champs. Like if the team that ascends, like let's say 2G makes champs as well, then it just goes based off of like how you place in champs. Like whoever places the best. Which is
You
like,
could go-
dude, what if you get fucking like unlucky ass bracket, like your FPX, you actually get into champs like second seed, but then like some team like Sentinels trolled, and all of a sudden you're in that crazy group of death.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's
RNG, you know?
anything can happen, bro. It's crazy.
It's your
It's fucking
livelihood.
It's crazy, but I think it's really sad for tier 2 to like, yeah, kind of dying, yeah, with the work, like even in America. So I think next year it's gonna be like Shopify, yeah, and then I don't even know if it's gonna be more work.
Maybe
It
TSM.
doesn't-
TSM staying probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's like hard to convince someone to go in there with that system. I'm not gonna lie. Like, how do you justify that?
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of 16-year-olds with no org just made it. So
Yeah,
I mean, or almost made it. So why pay known players that much money?
yeah,
It's
yeah. I
like-
mean, that's the thing. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Have fun instead, and maybe you'll make it. I mean, isn't that the meta though? You bring out 5 super good players from franchise. You create your own org qualify, and now you have a franchise slot, and you legit own the company.
Yeah, that would. Well, no, because you have to. So here's how it works, though: is yes, Riot will give you money to be in the league, but you also have to cough up your own money too. So
Well, by
unless
that
you
point,
find
somebody will buy the slot though.
hopefully, right? That's the
there's-
dream.
That
That's the
yeah, I
dream.
mean, as soon as you
But
make
we don't
it,
even
you're
know
good.
if that can happen, though. I know it happened with G2, but we don't know if it'll happen again. Like if you can actually just join in.
I mean, they
in
wouldn't
that
have a
type of
choice. Like Riot would want those. Like there would be an uproar if those players didn't get to play in franchise after making it. So
Mhm.
the logical choice for them would have to be to let them be sold off to an org, and then that they represent that org.
Mhm.
You're just saying if they make their own org, right? That's like the
Oh
the
yeah, if they make
hypothetical.
their own org, GG. Like that's
Yeah,
not
GG.
happening. They definitely shouldn't make their own org, but I would just like play under nothing and then just make it.
But my last question about this is like, do you think that it's gonna make like the talent pool weaker in general for like regions like NA not having orgs in it, like M80 and stuff?
I think as long as
100%.
there's like a tier 2 scene, not
Yeah.
not specifically orgs, because players will
Uh-huh.
always be good no matter who they play under, right?
Yeah.
So as long as there is actually like a tier 2 with people playing matches, there's always going to be good people coming out of it.
And then same with the ranked. Like a lot of people get picked up straight out of ranked as well sometimes. So I think that still always is gonna exist as like an option to like pick out of.
I think it's gonna be like more gamble picks from tier 2 now, and not as many consistent picks where you know what you're gonna get from a player, for example,
Mhm.
because they're not gonna be used to that. Like super structure, having an org competitive, like they're the really professional players, yeah, like you're gonna get from MXS or Oxygen or M80 and these teams. Now it's gonna be like you're picking kids from the street, kind of, like giving them a hand and say like, yeah, I'm gonna take you, and yeah,
Such a big risk.
yeah.
But I guess it is what it is, like sometimes you just have to do it.
Yeah.
All right, to wrap up this episode, we're going to be inviting some fans again to ask us questions directly on the Discord.
How's it, guys? It's nice to meet you. I'm Billy. I'm from South Africa, hence the accents. How does playing the game for a living, especially streaming a lot, or I can say used to stream a lot because some doesn't really stream anymore, but
Yeah.
is that
Damn,
impact your
boy.
love for actually playing the game? Does it make it harder, and how does that affect your mentality, like addressing Valorant?
I guess I'll go. There's definitely two different perspectives on competing and streaming. It's kind of hard to do both because for me, when I stream, I don't want to like half-ass my stream, and I want to do like 8 to 12 hours every single day, and just kind of get like that grind going. But it's definitely much harder as I'm competing to keep up with those expectations. So I don't want to compete, practice 8 hours a day, and then go home and stream 8 hours a day. It's just not healthy for me. That's why kind of like the off season and during the season it's different for me. So off season, I'll stream 12 hours every single day. And when the season starts, it's like I disappear. I don't stream. It's definitely two different lifestyles. But I'm grateful for both. And yeah, honestly it's fun doing both.
I second that. The same thing for me. I don't stream at all during the season, but it's good, I think, for players in general to keep their brand up. And like if you've built it like any kind of brand, it's good to stream and kind of get yourself out there for younger players. And for someone like me who I don't really like consider myself a streamer really, unless that's what I'm doing in the off season or something. If I'm dedicated to the team, then that's priority number one. Like the team is priority number one no matter what. So practice will always trump streaming. And for me, I'm very bad at balancing when it comes to streaming and playing. So I just pick one and then choose to do that. I try not to like mix it up a little bit because like Sam said, I don't want to half-ass one thing or the other. So like if I'm a streamer, I'm going to stream full time. And if I'm a player, then I'm going to play full time.
And then, sorry, just quickly, how does that affect your love of Valorant or your passion for Valorant? Playing the game professionally, obviously, compared to maybe when for some of you a lot younger, because you've been doing this for a while now, but when you were playing more casually.
Passion-wise, it doesn't really... I guess it kind of depends. So, like, if I'm streaming 12 hours a day, and so, like, for instance, last year, I didn't compete last year until, like, late into the year. So the first, like, 3 quarters of the year, I was just streaming and playing ranked all the time. And during that time, I think my itch and my passion for Valorant actually, like, grew more than I expected it to. Because, like, if you play ranked and you're playing against, like, these players that just run around, do whatever they want in ranked, it's kind of, like, boring. At some point you're like, okay, like I want to like play again. I want to play against normal people and like normal comps and normal things. But as I'm competing, it's like the other way around. Like I miss playing against the random people that just run around. So yeah, I mean, no matter
Too
what,
sweaty.
yeah, no matter what, there's passion for both. So
Yeah, same.
Okay. Sorry, and then the other half was, so outside of scrims, I don't know how much you guys see of social media, but last year you guys were a bit like described as a bit of a cliquey team or a bit of like a team with like a core group. How do you bond outside of just scrims to try and get good vibes across the whole team? Yeah.
I think it's easier now because everyone lives really close. So it's pretty easy. I mean, it depends on the team. Everyone's different, but you can definitely just do dinners is like the main thing, just after prac. Depending on, I mean, we always try to do stuff like after our matches, win or lose. We always try to do something. Whether it's like go out and grab a bite or go talk or something. But it's always different. Some people might just not want to go out, and that's just how they are. And you can't really, you just have to not take it the wrong way, right? You can't be like, oh, this guy just fucking hates me because he's not coming out to dinner with me. So
yeah.
you just have to trust everyone. There's a lot of trust involved.
And then, yeah, I mean, that's the main thing. You just kind of let everyone do their thing if that's like their routine that they want to stick to and be like by themselves and have their own specific space. It's okay because we all play like 8 hours a day, right? and we're all together in a room playing 8 hours a day. So sometimes you just want to break from your teammates. You don't want to just always hang out with them afterwards and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So, but then there's also like me and Sam who like will just play ranked after we're done playing scrims and stuff like that. So there's, you know, it just kind of depends. But yeah, I mean, there's always going to be like some people on teams that are closer to other people, and as long as no one takes it the wrong way or feels like they're being isolated or something, it's fine.
Okay, sick. Those were my questions. So
You're good to go. All right.
Thank you,
I was
man.
gonna
Thank
say,
you.
I'm
Hopefully-
gonna stay on this
Great
call as long as I
questions.
can. This is my peak, but I mean,
Hopefully we answered all your questions.
no, in spades. I'm glad to see Babybay is back as the host. It was a great episode last week. I can't wait for the next one.
Thank
Just
you,
Thank
brother.
you,
Thank
thank
you, bro.
meeting
Thank
you all.
you.
So my question to you guys is, throughout the season or any match, were you guys ever like wanting to play something different, like a different role? And if you did, what would it look like? You know, like maybe you would have your ideal like comp. Like let's just say it works.
During a match, did I want to play
During the season, just like in general,
Yeah, throughout the season,
Yeah.
throughout a match.
I would have liked just playing Morioru. Always down for Morioru. Put me on that on any map.
I would have liked to play more Cypher personally.
Need to bring back Pearl, bro.
I actually think it's
That was
back.
actually I've never been asked this question. That's
That's
a good
all
one.
I'm hearing. All I'm hearing is we need Pearl.
We need Pearl back too. We need a run back. That wasn't fair.
For me, Cypher for sure.
Not really for me. I feel like
You want a duelist?
nah. I feel
That's
like
what the fans want. That's what I want, bro.
Sam wants
That's
Silva,
me.
He
bro.
wants
Sam,
you on Duelist,
yeah, the
bro.
fans
Sam
want.
is heart of hearts. He wants Silva.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Silva's fun.
Sam
Silva's
fucks with Silva
really fun
heavy
to
because he
play.
still gets to bait the same.
That's
I was
not,
about to
I'm
say
not
that.
abated. I'm just not abated.
I was literally about to say it because you could bait on Sova.
Sam gets to bait the exact same, and he actually is like droning in for you guys.
Nah, controller role. I mean, last year, like, there's so many agents for the controller role that I feel like I got a wide variety of agents to play throughout the year because there's like so many agents that like were an option for every map.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
Wait, I'll be honest. As a caller during the beginning of 2023, when we got artists, I enjoyed. I don't know. Like, I'm sure Sam remembers this, but I really enjoyed playing Initiator as a caller because
Yeah,
that
you
was my
did.
first time doing it, and I enjoyed the fact that I was just I didn't have to get information from anyone.
Mhm.
And because I just knew exactly what was happening, and I was able to mid round immediately after my initial call a lot faster than I would have been able to do as a lurker. I'm still able to call as a lurker fine, but that's only because I have vocal teammates, right? But it's always better to just get the information yourself because it processes in your brain faster and you're able to make a quicker decision. So I'd be plays like on Ascent, I would be middle and catwalk more. I'd be able to see what's happening, the utility the opponent used, and make a decision, like a split-second decision faster than I would be if I was getting the information from a teammate. So I would definitely say Initiator was my favorite role to play as a caller. Oh, we weren't successful because we started 1 and 3.
yeah.
Hey man,
Yeah.
Rough.
This season could be different. You
Yep.
never know.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for your time.
Appreciate
This
you.
was
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
for the
Awesome
question.
experience.
Yep.
All right,
you, man.
bye guys.
So this last question is going to be from JMVE030, the YouTube comment winner, and it's: how long do you think Valorant esports will last? Looking at how Tier 2 is right now, and etc.
Honestly, I don't think like. I mean, I'm sure Tier 2 will affect it a little bit, but I think Valorant will be in esports for at least like another 10 years.
It's here to stay.
Yeah. I think Valorant's definitely like one of those games that like will always be a top game with like League or CS. But yeah, I don't know if Tier 2 really affected that much, and I'm sure like if Riot genuinely sees that like Tier 2 is affecting it, then they would do something in their own hands to kind of help it out.
Yeah, I agree. At least 10 years. I mean, it doesn't make sense for them to just kill the game. So if Riot wants to kill the game, they'll do it. If they want to keep it alive, they'll make sure it's alive.
Yeah.
Honestly, up to them. Like with the improvements they make and the things they change in order to like, if they see a decline in certain things, like Sam said, I think they're just gonna change aspects of it to make that one thing, for example, Tier 2 better, and then bring the game back to like where it was. So yeah, 10 years minimum.
All right.
Agreed.
Thank you to all the fans for asking questions and watching this episode of Offscript, the NRG podcast presented by Rockstar Energy. Drink, of course. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment on what you think we should talk about next. If we pick your question in the YouTube comments, we'll send you a signed jersey by the team Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next episode. Welcome to the team, Bonkar.
Thank you.
Out,
go.
fellas.
Peace, peace, peace.
Bye.
Later.
Everybody say bye.